Beneath the flashy headlines, Jaguar Wright drops a bombshell that could completely change what we thought we knew about Angie Stone's mysterious fate and expose the full extent of Diddy's alleged overreach.
Cancer, she is terrible. She will try to kill every great piece of relevant talent in Dallas. She will single-handedly destroy your legacy for what's really here. And the saddest part about it is the very people that made her everything that she is, she's done everything that she can do to erase them. I shouldn't have to remind people who Sean Martin is. I shouldn't have to remind people who Daniel Jones was. I shouldn't have to remind people who a lot of people are from here. I wasn't even born and raised here. Tell me something, why was I the one to post Lucky Peterson, his last performance at Louie Louie over there in Deep Ellum? Why wasn't Erica there? Why doesn't she ever show up to any of the old blues shows that they had over at Fair Park just to be there to welcome the old timers in and say, oh my God, I grew up on your music? No, she's always too good. No, she only wants to bring what everybody is now saying is the clone version of Dave Chappelle so people can come pet him once a year at her celebrity petting zoo party, the birthday party. I don't even know if that's the real Dave Chappelle. She might have picked up the fake one. I don't know. Cheap as that bitch is me, I don't think she would have paid him, and he don't go nowhere for free.
Once silenced and cast aside, Jaguar Wright now steps boldly into the spotlight, her explosive claims shaking the very foundation of Angie Stone's tragic death. These aren't just allegations. They challenge the official narrative and hint that Diddy may have crossed a line with far-reaching consequences. Could powerful forces be burying the truth? Stay with us as we unravel a web of secrets, controversy, and hidden truths the music industry never wanted exposed.
What really does make sense is that Diddy has had a long career of using pussy to trap niggas into making them do what he wants to do or using them to move them out the way. How is Faith Evans any different than Lauren London? How? No difference at all. Struggling artists trying to make their way up, not getting the break that they needed. All of a sudden they stand next to the right guy and then now you know that guy is dead and they're okay for life. Right. You know how many people in the business that happens to? Let's look at Khalees. What makes her any different than Lauren London or Faith? I got a better one for you. Sure. Camille Cosby. Do you know what? You know she's part white. Yeah. She's a Rothschild. The Luciferian motherfuckers that co-own YouTube, that are friends with the monster, Leora Cohen, that mentored and backs Jay-Z. Camille is a Rothschild.
So I will get back on my page tomorrow, not on a Sunday, but tomorrow, and everybody know some of my secrets that I have endured over the years. Nothing to hurt anyone else. With that being said, I would advise you not to log in 30 minutes for no mess, because that's something they pull together. Just like they told y'all I was a dead girl and I'm very much alive. It's because they're looking for numbers and they want you to pay for that information. Why you got to pay for it and I'm giving it to you? For all of you that want to hear some juicy stuff, give me a thumbs up. At hand is P. Diddy. I'll take you all the way back to the early 2000s when P. Diddy had just become an intern at Uptown Records, which was housed in MCA Music, which was where I just happened to have a publishing deal as an MCA songwriter. Woo! Can we get into it, guys? Unfortunately, what I have to say in revealing what I witnessed in that time period was a very young Sean Puffy Combs that had really been busting his chops.
Our investigation begins with Jaguar Wright, an unflinching voice on a mission to uncover the truth behind Angie Stone's death. "I don't know if anything else has come out, but we ain't going to waste no more time," she declares. With that, she sets the tone for what could become one of the most explosive celebrity exposés in recent memory. As she peels back the layers, Wright challenges us to look beyond the headlines and question whether powerful forces have shaped the story we were told.
You know what else is also true? I know he was drunk out of his mind and high out of his mind when they sent that there. He had no idea what he was doing. Everyone that knows him knows he gets blackout drunk. He wouldn't have known whether or not that girl was 23. And guess what? This girl was used by more than one rapper. These niggas went and got this little big body to run around and a bunch of grown men lying about her age so that they could have something to set them up with. Now, what's really sad about it is Snoop Dogg has access to that tape. The question is which member of Dog Pound is he holding that over? Because he's holding it over one of them for sure. Damn. I tell you one thing. If I ain't want nobody to dime me out for helping set up Tupac to get having somebody on tape committing statutory rape, and there's nothing they can say about it or do about it. How does Common sit around and pretend like he's a prolific black rapper when all you've done is line up amazing black women to move them out of the way when they don't go the way the Illuminati wants them to go, like Lauryn Hill, like me, like Tiffany Haddish? That's 3 women who are real as fuck, who used to deal with you, and their careers changed after you. Are you the lover of black women, or are you the silent assassin? Are you the new fucking Harry Belafonte? You fuck. And understand this, with his very small penis, I can see the motivation. But I also find it interesting, the blind items that have been popping out ever since I've been speaking about Mr. Lonnie Lynn, about the white married men that he likes to come on to at parties in Calabasas, asking, when are you gonna drop your wife off so we can hang out? Oh, white men. The other white meat. So not only are you not pro-black woman, you like white.
The story takes a chilling turn. Just 3 months after being blackballed and cast out, Angie Stone was found dead on her own son's birthday. A day meant for joy became one of shock and heartbreak. Behind closed doors and in whispered conversations, many claim her death was no accident. Jaguar Wright goes further, alleging it was a calculated move, a punishment for daring to stand up to the industry's giants, particularly Universal Music Group. After a career filled with hits and hustle, was Angie simply fighting for the royalties she rightfully earned? And did that battle ultimately make her a target?
R&B singer Angie Stone has died in a car crash. We're told she had just finished a concert in Mobile, Alabama Friday, was heading to Atlanta when the van she was riding in crashed. It's still not clear why they crashed or how the other people in the van are doing. The Grammy-nominated artist was known for songs like Wish I Didn't Miss You and No More Rain. She was also a member of the female hip-hop trio The Sequence. Angie Stone was 63 years old.
We live in a world that no longer has an Angie Stone in it. That to me is absolutely wild. While I've seen a bunch of videos online talking about conspiracy theories as far as her being the only person in a 9-passenger Sprinter van to die in a horrific accident, I'm more concerned about two things. The first thing is, in December, Angie Stone went on Instagram and started talking about how Universal Music Group had taken so much of her money that she is trying to get it back and that she should not have to be doing anything other than enjoying a very well-deserved retirement. You're talking about somebody who's done hits with Moby, Snoop Dogg, written Love of My Life for Erykah Badu, basically made the entire Brown Sugar album for D'Angelo, and yet and still, she was talking in December in her kitchen about how she should have retired long ago, but they took her money. And the fact that she had to make a plea online about going after back royalties and payments that she should have had speaks to a much bigger problem. And that problem is Black artists do not have the infrastructure to stop predatory record deals from happening. That's why people like Sir Lucian Grange and Clive Davis and Leor Cohen and Jimmy Iovine and others, because there's a long laundry list of these types of people who continue to take advantage of the record industry as long as there's been a record industry.
Jaguar digs deeper, revealing disturbing parallels from her own journey. After being with Universal Music, I started to notice something was off, she recalls. She claims to have uncovered a pattern of financial manipulation, royalties, publishing rights, mechanicals, all allegedly siphoned off by a corporation long criticized for exploiting its artists. Angie Stone, once signed to MCA, eventually absorbed by Universal, found herself caught in a double battle, one against a severe blood infection and another against financial discrepancies that couldn't be ignored. What should have been her time to rest and reflect became a brutal fight for justice, one that may have cost her everything.
Can we make albums without a sexual assault involved? Can we make albums without peeping Toms looking in girls' green rooms and dressing rooms? Can we make albums without the girls in the videos being sodomized right before they were thrown on camera and told to smile? Otherwise, they were going to get sodomized again, but sniff this shit and you'll be okay. Like, can we release projects without any of that kind of shit happening? Because right now, if you go back and look at everything that's being exposed, I think it would be fair to say that if albums had to be guaranteed cruelty-free, 75% of most music wouldn't even fucking come out.
I can see that.
Drill records wouldn't exist. People talking about, I'm bringing down our people. Let's talk about drill music.
Yeah.
Let's make that make sense.
It will never.
You encourage criminal behavior. And then when that's not enough to keep the audiences excited, you encourage barbaric behavior. And then they die, and then they're famous.
I actually was overseas. I had done some demos for a young man, Lenny Kravitz's cousin. He took the demos to the UK. Mervyn Lynn and Jed Doherty wanted to sign him, but because of me. And he said, well, they want you to come over here. I said, I'm not interested in being no group with you. So I said, I'll sign a solo deal with Arista UK. Clive came over there and kicked the doors, and once he found out I was over here all this time, he's like, no. I got to have her over here. So pretty much Clive deboed the situation and brought me back to ours.
Nice. Okay, we all know Clive Davis, legendary record man.
Right.
Arista Records have had some huge acts.
Yes.
They had another big vocalist on that, female vocalist on that record label, Miss Whitney Houston.
My girl.
I was about to ask you, what was your relationship like with Whitney?
Whitney's like, man, we were so cool because, you know, she had a lot of respect for good songs and good singing. But there was something really down home about Whitney.
Then comes a startling revelation. A witness who claims to have arrived at the scene just moments after the devastating van crash. Their account eerily mirrors the official two-collision narrative. Yet, the TikTok video capturing their testimony vanished without a trace. Was it quietly deleted under pressure or simply lost in the chaos of the internet? Jaguar Wright sees it as more than coincidence. To her, it's yet another red flag suggesting Angie Stone's death wasn't just a tragic accident, but potentially a calculated cover-up designed to shield powerful figures from scrutiny.
R&B soul singer Angie Stone just tragically passed away in her Sprinter van in Montgomery, Alabama. There were 9 other people in the van, and she was the only one that passed away.
Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my mechanicals, all my royalties.
This is absolutely tragic news. It's a devastating story, and a lot of people don't know that she has a son with R&B soul singer D'Angelo.
And I'm being 100. He would be a lot further ahead today. I'm not discrediting it. Everybody and their mama wish Angie and Stone and D'Angelo would get back together. I've heard it a million times.
Yes.
His pride as a man would not allow him because he doesn't want to share the credit. I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made.
And for those of you that don't understand that Miss Angie Stone climbed out the van on her own. She was instructed to sit down on the side of the road by...
Okay, hold on. Okay, she climbed out the van by her own. So climbing, I'm assuming the van is tilted. You know, the window, the door is facing upward. So, because you remember the van was flipped over allegedly 3 times. So she climbed out. So she was in okay physical to climb out. It wasn't like the ambulance and the firefighters came and had to really pull her out. She, according to him, she climbed out. And I'm assuming once she climbed out, then someone helped her continue to, finish getting out, or let's go.
A white person. And then she was ran over by a white person.
Now we confront the elephant in the room, Diddy. As the story unfolds, troubling claims emerge about one of the music industry's most powerful forces. Insiders allege that Diddy's reach extended far beyond beats and business, shaping a culture where silence was bought and accountability sidestepped. While Angie battled for the royalties she was owed, Diddy's name kept surfacing in whispers about secretive power moves. Could his actions have helped sustain the very system that ultimately silenced her?
Let's talk about the showdown in the courtroom over the bombshell video allegedly showing Sean Diddy Combs beating his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
Now, Diddy's lawyers are arguing to exclude the footage from the rapper's upcoming sex trafficking trial. Legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer joins us now with more on what this could mean for the high-profile case. So good to have you. Okay, so they want this video left out. What's their argument for this?
So Mark Agnifilo, Sean Combs' attorney, is arguing that, you probably hear this phrase, this is not a true and accurate representation of what the video depicts. He's saying a number of arguments that the CNN had taken this video and sped it up. They kind of chopped it up into this montage, and it's not accurate. He's also making the allegation that the original video no longer exists. And so because this isn't accurate, the jury shouldn't see it. And according to Diddy's attorneys, because the original doesn't exist or it's been tampered with, no video such as this should be presented to the jury.
So what is CNN saying about these claims?
So CNN has come out and said, we did not alter it. We did not change anything. And in fact, they're saying that they do have the original as well. So on multiple levels, Sean Combs' argument kind of falls flat, because if it is sped up, and I think there is some degree of it's being sped up, if the original still exists, that can still be used as evidence against Sean Combs, not necessarily to the allegations of trafficking, RICO conspiracy, or the transportational purpose of prostitution, but to show that this is a force that it was used to keep victim number one, who we believe to be Cassie in this video, under his control for the purpose of trafficking and this RICO conspiracy.
Combs has been in jail since September, awaiting trial on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and fraud. And today, we appear to be hearing directly from Combs in a leaked jailhouse phone call with his longtime friend, Kanye West.
It's wicked, so you be careful. I need you out there.
I hear you. Yes, sir.
What sounds like Combs appearing to reference jail life during the phone call with Kanye, which was obtained by the Shade Room. In the call, Combs encourages Kanye to get back to his music and thanks him for reaching out to his kids.
I'm gonna beat this and get next to you like 59 more days before trial, so.
Combs' trial begins May 5th, so Combs' 59 days to trial comment could mean the call occurred on or around March 9th. We reached out to Combs and Kanye about their conversation, but have not heard back.
I love you so much, man. It's like you raised me.
It seems Kanye's new nearly 5-minute song, Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine, begins with excerpts from that phone call. The song, released on X, also appears to feature Combs' son King and Kanye's 11-year-old daughter North, who does some rapping. However, Kanye appeared to delete the song from his X account one day after posting it, amidst reports North's mother, Kim Kardashian, was trying to block its release. Kanye then shared what looked like screenshots of his combative text message exchange with Kim. Kanye texting, "I'm never speaking with you again," as Kim explains how she had trademarked North's name. "I asked you at the time if I can trademark her name. You said yes. When she's 18, it goes to her, so stop." Appearing to disapprove, Kanye responds in part, "Amend it or I'm going to war." And neither of us will recover from the public fallout.
The conspiracy deepens as other powerful voices enter the conversation. Tyler Perry, in a fiery sermon, demanded that Black artists be paid their true worth, implying that Angie's fight was just one chapter in a broader epidemic of industry exploitation. At the same time, Monique's cutting rebuke, "Sir, you really need to look in the mirror," struck a nerve, calling out the hypocrisy and corruption embedded in the system. Together, their words amplified Jaguar Wright's claims, forming a growing chorus of resistance that can no longer be dismissed.
Being interviewed by this woman once, and she was telling me, she's like, "Tyler, I just want to tell you, I can always tell when they're going to go left, because the interview starts, all these questions, and then it's like, the Black women in your movies, do you portray them? It's such negativity, and they're always going through something, and they're always," and just a Black woman. I asked her, I said, "You ever been through something?" She's like, "My life is great. I have a great husband, my kids are great, everything's wonderful." I said, "God bless you that you can live a perfect life. That's wonderful." Then I turned to her and I asked her, I said, "How old are you?" She said, 25. I said, "Baby, keep living." But I look at these young folks who are living these lives and they think that it's supposed to be the way that it is on Instagram, and they're forgetting about the people who have paved the way for them to be in that situation. They're forgetting about the women like Angie Stone, who's been in the business all of these years. You're gonna forget about what she did, all of the people that she put on and helped. So you gotta go through something to write a song like $20. Because in it she says, "What you know about being poor." She don't say poor, she says poor. "What you know about having to borrow from the neighbor next door." These are her words. "What you know about bumming rides. What you know about having to swallow your pride." And this is the part of the song that got to me when she said, "What do you do when you're through?"
Monique is not done with Tyler Perry. So as you know, Tyler Perry was trending last week after his speech at Angie Stone's funeral. Well, according to Monique, she feels like he's a hypocrite.
It is wrong. And I'm tired of seeing us struggle and go through things and work hard and not reap the benefits of what we were supposed to reap. But you got to be careful when you start mistreating people, especially children of God, because the Bible says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm.
So Monique shared that speech, but also shared a recording that she had recorded of Tyler, a phone conversation that they had, where he said that on his next press tour, he would publicly apologize to her. In her caption, she says, "Open letter to Tyler Perry. We would like to give our heartfelt condolences to Angie Stone's family and friends. Sister Angie, we stand on the shoulders of the elders and ancestors like you, so please know that your fight inspired us to write this letter, and that the fight doesn't end with your passing, as it's only the beginning. Dear Tyler Perry, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. It struck me and my husband Sydney as poignant, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions towards me. 1, you expressed anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me, quote, difficult to work with, despite never having worked with me.